today I was going to do something completely different, which is the reaction video for Endgame, but I decided, no, I'll leave that for Friday. So today I decided, as you can see by the title, back to another film review, and this one is Captain Marvel, since I went to go watch it this weekend, so I decided, you know what, I'll do a review for it, especially since leading up to Endgame, which takes place after it, so yeah, we'll do that. Obviously, when I do watch Endgame, I'll do a review for that, but obviously today is the Captain Marvel film review. Just a word of warning, it's going to be like a spoiler review, so if you haven't seen it, I suggest you don't watch this video. I suggest you go either go watch the film first and then come back and watch this review. So yeah, so this one tells the origin story of Captain Marvel, in other words, Carol. It starts off with her having this dream. She sees explosion, and she's hands proper blue blood, and next thing she sees is the Creed, which are who, for those who don't know, it's green creatures alien creatures who actually can shapeshift into anyone. So they can be amongst us and we won't even realise it. So it could be me and you won't realise it, you don't know. Something anyway, so yeah, have that, see them shooting, and then it ends with that, but she can't sleep, so she goes to her mentor, who then they train together, and then it's revealed that she has this one of her powers is her fist things, energy things, she's called plasma fist. So that, and then it goes to them going on a mission to save this person, but then it's revealed that the Creed are the ones who infiltrated it. It's like a trap, so they kidnapped her, and it's actually, it seems because she's actually an alien, supposed to be, but it's this, she has these flashes, which she doesn't realise, she's how is this possible that I can have this? And it's I don't really remember it, sort of thing, I'm so confused. So that, and then, so what happens is that, because after she gets off the ship, she then lands on Earth and crashes into, which is actually really an old video store called Blockbuster, which was in the early 90s, but now it's it's basically gone now, so it went quite early 2000s. It's actually it was a video store based in America, and even here as well, where you can actually hear in England, where also you get videos anything. So kind of you don't have DVDs like that, but it's video form, such as VCR and stuff, play those. So basically that, but you have to obviously rent it and then bring it back a certain time, otherwise you get charged. Like that. Anyway, so she crash lands there, and then the next day you have, because she tried to basically, she has this like that communicator thing, which is a hologram, trying to contact her starship, as it were, the people, her team basically, her planet, but then nothing's working. And then, because the next day she tries it, and it does work, but then it cuts off, and then we get introduced to Samuel L. Jackson, in other words, Nick Fury and Coulson, who, as it turns out, this is actually he's a rookie, and also you see that Coulson, also you see Fury is without the eye patch, his eyes are normal, so it takes place, it's obviously in 1995, the year that I was born, anyway, so yeah, that, so that's before, so it's when Coulson is a rookie, and takes place when, obviously, a Blockbuster and all the old stuff, and before Fury he was old, and he had before he had an eye patch, basically, he was young, CGI, so yeah, So then he's like, oh, it's like, he doesn't believe it at first about the aliens, but then he actually fights Creed, who actually looked like Coulson. It turns out Coulson was actually the real one, is actually still there outside Blockbuster. But then, like, because the Creed actually followed her to Earth, and then they're searching for her, and then she's searching for them as well. And then eventually, because also she wants to find out answers as well, like why does a lot of stuff seem familiar, and the whole why, like, there's this lady specifically, why is she like there, like in her dream, when she doesn't really know her, she doesn't actually know her. But then, because you'll see as time goes on, it's like a lot of mystery unraveling. So then she meets this, because she finds that there's actually a photo of her. It's like on, obviously the air pilot, fighter pilot, or whatever. And you also have, and she's like, and coincidentally enough though, the same jacket that she has, yeah, obviously Air Force ones you have, the symbol of it is like, she's seen it somewhere, she's seen it basically on that lady. She has that thing and she has to find that person, but she ends up piecing it together a little bit, like her memories start to come back a bit, and she meets one of her friends who was not only her best friend, a childhood friend, but also her co-pilot who she actually stayed with as well. And that's when again the mystery starts unraveling, and then she finds out that her name isn't whatever it's called, I forgot, but she's called, but it turns out her real name's Carol, and obviously she's an air pilot and everything, and then she also meets that Creed, who, as it turns out, it's a big twist, which is like, as it turns out, the guys who you think are the good guys are actually the bad guys, and the people who are you think are the bad guys, the good guys. So what I mean is, like, you think that the Creed are the bad guys, but as it turns out, they're the good guys who it's kind of like, again, going back to the whole looks can be deceiving thing, where like they look like bad guys, but as it turns out, they're actually good guys who they just want to go home. And well, those guys who think are the good guys are they're the ones who actually tricked Kara, or Carol, or whatever. I can't pronounce her name, but yeah, Carol. I think, yeah, tricked her to whatever she thinks it was actually a lie. But it turns out she was a fighter pilot, and as it turns out, that day, that lady who she keeps seeing, she thinks she's a professor who's trying to find about this, I think plutonium or something like that, I can't remember, but it's related to one of the Infinity Stones as well, which is the Tesseract, which is in the first Avengers, and which in Infinity War, spoilers for those who still haven't seen it, Loki gives it to Thanos. Yeah, so that basically turns out the professor was actually feeling that, and as it turns out, it's revealed that she was actually not human, but she's actually an alien. So that alien, and then so she has to try to blow it up to save her, research. Not save it, but to save it. But then because the Creed came, because that leads into her, like that memory that she was having, her dream, and it turns out she like literally like that, like tries to shoot, but the Creed shoot her, and then Carol, she shoots the thing itself. But the twist is that's how she gets the powers, because it actually, the thing actually absorbed into her, gave her those powers, such as the plasma arm beam thing and stuff. And so she's turned from human to alien, so she's getting superhuman hero. So, but those people, they kind of saved her, quote unquote, like took her in, but they put this thing around her, so she loses her memory, like forgets everything, and also she's kind of like a soldier, so believes the things that she's been told are the truth. She doesn't know what's true, basically. So then, after they go to the ship and find the Tesseract, which is one of the Infinity Stones, they have this fight, So then she goes into that dream thing, and she gets taunted that, oh, you're only human, and that's when it hits her like, yeah, I'm only human. So what? We don't give up. So then she does, because she breaks out the thing, and she's like, if I can do this with half my power, yeah, the plasma thing, what happens if I have full powers, go full potential? That, like, yeah. She breaks the thing, and then full powers come. Oh, and also, before, I forgot to mention as well, that obviously the suit that you see, which is like Captain America's, the Captain Marvel suit, that's how she gets it, because like her actual uniform itself is like their soldier uniform, one that they have on their team, the bad guys. Yeah, but she decided to go, because before she left for the ship, she actually tried different colours, and then that's when she decided, because her friend, her daughter had like also that colour. She was like, because we're on the same team, why not go for that colour? And it is, and actually suits it as well. And then obviously she uses her full powers and to this thing. And plus we're also introduced as well to Roman the Accuser, who plays obviously an important part in the Guardians of the Galaxy. And then she refuses the shit, and Roman's like, we'll be back. And then there's that guy from the beginning who, her mentor, he was like, when you're ready to prove yourself, like, come on. Yeah, he's like go away. Plasma beams are like, go away, man, get lost, take a hike, sort of thing. I don't need to prove myself to you. Allow you. And then puts him onto, she drags him, and like, literally drags him, like that. And she puts him onto the ship, and then he's like, I'll go empty-handed. She's like, tell your boss that Captain Marvel's here, sort of thing. And she puts him onto the ship, and then I'll also be introduced to that cat as well called Goose. Yeah, it turns out like aliens, or like sort of thing, like, like octopuses would have that thing, like that. That's like her, yeah. It's him. So then she goes, and then also Tesseract is also in the Goose's mouth, like eating it. And then we introduce back to, and she goes back. She's like, we'll see you again, sort of thing. And then goes to Coulson, thinking, not Coulson, but like, yeah, Coulson about the Tesseract and stuff. And it's just like, set up his team, sort of thing. So decides on the computer, let's go for it, because like, and it actually links to it as well, because links as well, yeah, to it, her to him, because like, what it is that it's like, like obviously the Avengers links to the first one as well, but it's like, event instead of, because something else, yeah, and because on the photo it showed about not just her being captain or lieutenant, Marvel something, Carol Marvel thing, yeah, but one of the things said Marvel, so it actually said Avengers as well, so he puts Avengers Initiative, which obviously, as you guys know, actually is the Avengers Initiative, which obviously, as you know, from the first Avengers, which is the one set up the Avengers. Yeah, and then yeah, ends with that, and then one of the mid-credit scenes is also the whole him spitting out the Tesseract, and then the last mid-credit scene takes place in between Infinity War, at the end of Infinity War-ish, sometime after, but before Endgame, where you have them trying to, because at the end of Infinity War you had that button, actually links to it as well, basically, next to Captain Marvel as well. We had Captain Marvel with the stress signal thing where, and then they picked it up trying to code it, and they don't understand how, what it is, how it works, and then it's introduced to Captain Marvel. It's like, where's Fury? And so that, and it says that they're back. Endgame. Oh, and also I forgot to mention as well that communicator thing is actually, it was actually Nick Fury's communicator, like because he's a SHIELD agent. That obviously his headquarters, but obviously he accidentally pressed it, but he didn't know that his boss is not his boss, but rather one of the Creeds, those bad guys, and she's like, I decided to modify it, and then turn like, so now it's just like the only time he's going to use it for emergencies and only to call her. So, and obviously I just know in Infinity War he does. Oh, and also I forgot to mention as well, like he is it's not the way that he loses his eye. It's not the way that you think. Because remember, and I think can't remember which one it was, but it was one of the earlier Marvel after. I think it was after Avengers. I think Captain America, Winter Soldier. I can't remember. Where it's like last time I trusted someone, I lost an eye, yeah, like that. Yeah, it actually links back to that where he loses his eye, yes, obviously, as you know in the obviously future as it were and stuff. But it doesn't lose it the way you think. It's the cat that because the cat it's like that scratches his eyes like, ah. I mean his eye technically was already injured a bit anyway because of one of the Creeds who was fake Coulson, but obviously now he lost it because of the cat, and obviously now he has the iconic eye patch. That's how he loses it. And that's it. I know it's like a bit like I said, spoiler, it's will be a spoiler film. Spoiler one, but yeah. I think what I like about this is that it's obviously like it sets up for Endgame at the end. Plus the other thing I like as well is that it's got that twist, the whole like Luke should be deceiving sort of thing, you know. And also it's quite sad as well. I like it. Like I like it because it's also sad as well. Not just because it's origin story, but sad like her the things that she thought were true. It's not. It's everything was a lie. She was lied to. So I feel sorry for her as well. Like she basically lost her identity as well. And I also love as well that again that twist, like the cat. I like wow. And also I do like how it also has like some connections as well, and not just Avengers, but also not just like the past MCU films, like again Avengers and stuff, but also has like pop culture reference as well, like to Samuel L. Jackson's one of his films, which is the Pulp Fiction with Danny DeVito, where he's got Coulson and him in the car, that and one of the Creeds, like I said, the main boss who wants to go home, reveals everything. He was a fake boss. He slept in his drink like that. Quite a few as well, like links to him. I like all that, yeah. I also love as well that again there's can't remember did we have Stanley cameo? Can't remember. Yeah, we did have Stanley cameo. Yeah, we did, yeah. Like that, you know, after his passing. Rest in peace, Stanley. But also he had graffiti as well, like which is Stanley as well. Plus the other thing I like as well, speaking of Stanley, you know how like at the beginning of the Marvel films you have like sometimes old the old like for example let's say like Captain America up in the first film leads to that or something. Yeah. And it has like all the Marvel characters. Like that. It had that, but also mostly Stan Lee. All of Stan Lee basically. It's like a good, massive, amazing tribute to him, which I loved. Such a beautiful tribute. That's one of the main things I love as well. Now, the thing I didn't like, because loads of quite good things I liked, what I didn't like is that obviously her being like used kind of like a super soldier and lied to as well. Didn't like that. And I thought it was like what I didn't like as well, like how the Creed, obviously they're good guys, but like they have to be killed. I was like, not good. Didn't like that. And I didn't like as well like kind of like proper military thing that's like, oh listen what they say, if you don't then you get punished, sort of thing, and like that, and otherwise electrocuted like that. And I didn't like. Oh, the other thing also like as well. The other thing I like as well is that her full powers. Like yes, amazing powers. Yes. Yeah. Anyway, that's all I'm gonna say because there's quite a lot I'm gonna say on it. My overall review really is 9 out of 10. Again, thank you guys for watching. I know it's like a very long video. I think it's like over 20 minutes. Depending on when I edit it is all like quite over, but also quite a lot of me rambling on because like I said, spoilers. So yeah, anyway, and thank you guys for watching. Like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll check out the channel for previous videos and put in the comments below on what next videos I'm going to do. Let you guys as soon as I can. And also put in the comments below if you guys seen Captain Marvel. Also, are you guys looking forward to Endgame or not? And that's it though, what I'm going to say. And thanks for watching. Till next time, signing out, bye. Oh, also before I go, do you guys like what do you think of one of the first female superheroes? Technically the second, like, Avenger, as it were, per se, because the first Avenger, Captain America, and then, because he's in early 90s, and hers was like 1995, which was after, and then it was like Iron Man. So like that. What do you guys think of the female superhero? Do you guys like him or not? What do you guys think? And also, if you could have any of her, would you have her powers? What ones would you have? Like plasma guard, fists, or all of them? Or would you rather be a Creed? Like a shapeshift? Let me know.